Okay, awesome. So we are going to be we posted about this on LinkedIn recently, actually. I recently remade this project by ESG Architects. So planning project. It's got four buildings. It's mixed use, so office, retail, and parking, and then some multifamily on the other side of the site. And there's this kind of axis that goes through the site both directions here with the plaza. And so this is what we will be making today. There's no dimensions on this stuff, so it won't be hyper accurate, but we'll get it as close as we can. To give you a sense of the original one I made, this is kind of what we're going to be recreating here. So I'll make this and I'll show you what it looks like to create some documentation out of it as well. So starting from scratch, I'm on my project page here. We are going to make a new project. And now we've got our blank project here. So first thing we got to do, set our project location to get our site. So 7235 France Avenue. It is in Edna, Minnesota. That's the right one. And it's the old Macy's. So because I'm in the US with this site, I can use our regrid service. This looks like enough site context. I'm not going to bother bringing in anymore. Regrid is going to let me select the actual boundary here. These are all my different site boundaries. This is the site that I'm working on right now. And so that looks good. Yeah, everything's good. I will import my site. Not a lot of buildings around it, it looks like. Let's see, did I bring in more site originally? I don't remember. Maybe we can bring in some more. Oh yeah, we'll bring in a bigger site. Okay, let me just redo that quickly here. So let's go project location. Let's actually bring in 1/2 mile. So bring in some more, same thing. Select my site. There we go. We got more buildings. First thing I want to do is remove the Macy's from my site. And it looks like there's some terrain going on here. So I'm going to just flatten that out for myself. So let's go here. There we go. I got my flat terrain. And there's no setbacks on here listed, and there's no height restrictions or anything like that. So I won't add that this time around. Maybe we can do it at the end if we want. But for now, I'm just going to go into, well, first let's make our surrounding buildings look a little bit better. So let's pick all of them. Let's make them maybe a little bit more white, semi-transparent. Cool. Okay, I'm happy with how my site's looking, and I'm going to start modeling. What's the easiest way to do this? So I'll flick back and forth, I guess. If it gets really annoying, we can go kind of split screen back and forth. But first thing I'll do is model in some of these buildings on the left here. So let's get a 3D view, see what it looks like. Okay, so it's kind of a large podium base and it kind of cuts in a bit here with the connector piece in the middle. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's actually work in our top view. And let's just start roughing in some stuff here. So it looks like they were basically something like this with a jet in, and we can adjust this all afterwards. So let's do that. And let's extrude that up. And if I want to, I can start dragging my edges here or using push-pull. That works too. And now we want to do the same thing on the other side. So let's do that as well. Same thing. We can do it fairly loose to begin with because we can fine tune it afterwards. So I've got this. Now, let's go back here and see if this looks kind of the same. So this one actually looks pretty close. This one needs a little bit of tweaking, I think. So that's good. So first thing we can do is we'll push pull this and we'll just align those faces. Push pull this, we'll align those faces. Now they're the same. I believe we already aligned them on the back, but we can just double check it. Yep, There we go. That's good. And both of these now we'll start turning them into buildings. So now they're multiple floors. And let's see, we've got, I can't tell here how many floors of parking. One, two, three, four, five, six floors of parking. Or is that what's going on there? Yeah, I think that's six floors of parking. So both of these then we want six floors. Not sure what floor to floor height would be, 10 feet, sure. And then we've got some retail here. So I wonder if we can see kind of another 3D views how it wraps. So retail a little bit on the inside, and it looks like it's just maybe that part. Okay, it's just the width of this piece that juts in here. So I can come in here and I can split this into two pieces here. And let's come in here. Cool. So I got my two halves. So this half we want to be parking, and this bit we want to be, well, we don't have retail. We have something kind of close to retail, but let's rename that actually. Let's go here to our types, and let's call that retail. And we can match the colors too. So actually retail they have is pink. So let's make retail pink and make it kind of a softer pink like they have it. And then parking. So we obviously don't want angled stalls in this case. Parking is a newer feature that we have, so it's in progress. You can see we recently added some ADA stalls, but we're adding kind of ability to place ADA stalls. Obviously, there's no ramp in this case, and it doesn't show outside right now. So we've focused on surface parking to start, but all the stalls are there, and they all are being counted. So that's great. The other building looked like it was the same, so we'll just do the same thing here. We'll take this and we will split it. And we've got our two halves. So we have retail on the inside and parking on the outside. And then same thing, we'll just adjust this to not be angled. Cool. That all seems good. And oh, it looks like retail is actually an L shape on the first couple floors. Uh, okay, cool. We can do that. So let's go back in here. And let's turn this actually into more of an L shape. So I don't know exactly what it looks like. It was kind of equal. So this is, well, how wide is that? This is 52 feet. Okay, we could make that more exact if we want to, but let's go about 52 feet. And let's remove that edge. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can see I've when I split these buildings into the floors, now they all work off of floor plans. So I'm just going in here and editing the floor plans. So same thing, I'll delete this edge. Looks like I need to reassign that as retail. That's fine. Cool. So that is, oh, we don't want this piece showing up here. Let's get rid of that. We might have to redraw that line, but that's okay. Let's just redraw that. Awesome. Okay. Everything's looking good, looking nice. Now that was just for the first couple floors, and then it looks like it's all, oh, actually, okay. So it's parking, and then just that one section here is office above that. So let's go ahead and do that. So in this case now, that was how many floors? A couple floors. So I want a new floor plan now. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add a new floor plan. Um, and I'm going to add that split back that I took out because it does exist here. So this was actually all parking in that case. And this, we don't have office. So let's create an office type. And it was blue, right? Yes, blue. So we'll make it blue. Some kind of a light tealy blue, something like that. And Oh, I changed the wrong thing. Whoops. I changed retail. Okay. Well, just undo that. Because retail's supposed to be pink, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, I could, there we go. And office, I want to be blue. Okay, cool. Office is light blue, and then we'll come in here, and this floor plan, we were making that office. So now I've got two different floor plans going on, and you can see on the one it wraps around, and on the other it doesn't, just like in the actual plan project. And so now these floors, we want them to have floor plan two. And then we will do the same thing here. So this one, we need a new floor plan. And we will add in that piece there and get rid of that. And oh, it looks like it didn't, oops, I didn't split it actually. There we go. So this is parking. Guess I could have undone it. This is office. Great. Cool. And then same thing, let's just assign these other floors, that floor plan. So while I'm doing this and creating those new floor plans, views are automatically being created. Now, obviously there's two buildings, and so there's two floor plan ones and two floor plan twos. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up so that we can and rename them so that they're actually intelligible for later. So this floor plan one, we'll say that this is building one. So oops. So floor plan one, we'll go building one, floor plan one. You can see the view gets automatically renamed as part of that. And then building two, or building one, floor plan two. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So building two, floor plan one, and building two, floor plan two. Cool. All right, so now this makes sense in our view list here. You can see, like I said, those views are automatically created. They already have, when you go to a floor plan view, they have dimensions and area types and areas all showing automatically for you there, give you a sense of how that works. Um, cool. So those buildings, I think, need to be wider. They're looking a little bit skinny, so that's okay. Let's come in here and we can either use well, we could push pull or we could, I mean, it's probably easier to just do it kind of like this. And I actually did this all backwards. I'm probably making it more work for myself than I should have. I should have settled this all out before I started tweaking it like this, but there we go, snap it to 90. And we'll just adjust that like so. And there we go. Okay. Is that, oh, that is not 90 degrees. Okay, let's fix that there. Do it plan view. There. And that is not plan view. Or, there we go. Snap that. And then I missed this one, didn't I? Okay. So then this comes here. This comes here. So I guess pro tip to myself, I should have, like I said, I should have done this and made sure this was all good before I started fiddling with it. But that looks pretty good now. And it looks more like this. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. There we go. So I'll do the same thing on the other one, and then we'll be good to move on to the multifamily buildings. So let's come in here and let's move this over a bit. And same thing with this one. Move that and move that. Okay, and then just this piece remaining. Gonna move that over. Again, I would have saved myself some pain if I had done this before splitting it all up, but it does work now too, so that's good. We fixed it. Okay, we got our two buildings here, and then what's left to go on top? It was all office on top. So and with some step backs. So that's cool. We can do that. So I'm going to add just a couple floors here and then again create a new floor plan. And we can do it in 3D this time. So this floor plan, it steps back on those two sides. Okay, so this steps back and this steps back. And actually, we don't need any dividers in here because it's all just office. So let's do that. Let's make it office. And let's just assign all of these to make it easier to view here. Okay, so now we've got this thing stepping back, this stepping back, and it looks like it steps back a little bit on the side. And if I come in here again, let's go 3D so I can make sure everything's all square and nicely done. Um, this will square up here like that. Cool. Awesome. Okay. So it looks like it's just a little step back on the side. And then on the back, it actually has a pretty substantial step back and then it steps back and forth. Okay, interesting. So we'll do that. So step it back. We'll add in kind of a terrace top later, like this. But for now, this floor goes and cuts in this way. So again, let's go in here. We could do this in our floor plan view or in 3D like I'm doing it here. And we'll snap all of these in. We'll remove that corner. And then we know that it alternates. So again, I will create another floor plan. So this is building 2, floor plan 3, and I want another one. We don't need that right now. And this one is going to do the inverse, right? So this one, oh, we'll have to add that corner back. Oh, and I guess we'll have a line if we do that. So let's redo that line there. And this one cut on the other side. So again, we can do it kind of loose to start, and then we can fine tune it afterwards. So let's do this and make it office. And now we want this to be that floor plan as well. And let's make sure everything's named nicely, again, for later. I'm calling them floor plan 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you could do levels 1 to 3, and however you want to name it. And now that looks like, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good. And a bunch of parking. I guess I didn't quite go as fancy. It looks like some of these are actually 2 parking floors. I could do that, but I'd have to model them kind of as separate geometry. So we won't bother with that for now. But that's looking pretty good. So I will do the same thing on the other side. So let's add some floors and let's create a new floor plan and do the same thing. So actually, we said I don't need these interior dividing lines. It's all office and steps back. Let's just assign all of these as well. And then we can start matching these up. So match that up to that, match that up to that. And step this back a little bit. Now, I've been kind of freehanding it, but you can see I've got a dimension. So if we bring it back, if I want it to be exactly 5 feet or something like that, I can just do -5. Click. There's my exactly 5 feet. And so that's all good on that side. I think it actually does step back a little bit on the sides too. Yeah, it does. Okay. So we'll put like a 5-foot step back in there as well. And again, this one I can just snap. So you see when I update one of the floor plans, all the floors that have that floor plan get updated at the same time, which makes it a lot nicer to work with. And so then same thing, we already know we can match this. and then we just have to do our cutouts. And these cutouts don't look even, so I can actually tweak them afterwards too. I guess we probably would match that though, hey? Okay, so this one will make it a little bit deeper, like that. And we'll do our cutout. I'm assuming it's the opposite. Oh no, it's the same way. Okay. So over here, same thing. Take our notch out and then new floor plan. We'll do our renaming in a second here, but we'll actually add that back. Take this out here and take this out like so. And add our notch on the other side, right? So over here and over here. And then, oh, what happened there? Got to connect that piece up. Okay, and then we've got these two floors. We want to be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think we got one floor too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay, so it's always 5 floors. So this one we don't want. So let's get rid of that. And then what was I just going to do? Oh, yeah. And we'll make sure these kind of all match up nice. So yeah, we said we wanted to, couldn't tell if it didn't match. Oh, it does. Okay. So it matches that little, the dimension of this thing here. Oh, not sure what I did there. Oops. What happened? That is very strange. Okay. Let's try going here. Oh, there we go. Hmm. Let's try this. Floor plan 2. Okay. Somehow my push pull made something disappear. So let's go back here. Let's fix that. Ah, okay. It looks like we just lost a line somewhere. So we just have to reconnect that line. That's okay. So let's go points and connect these up. And then we'll be back in business. So there we go. Let's do that. Take this out. That was weird. Not sure what happened there, but no matter. We can fix that pretty easily. There we go. Now we're good. So that lines up. And then this one, we want it to push in like that. So it kind of matches the same width there. Cool. So this is looking now, this is looking good. So I think now I have an extra floor again. Oh yeah, I have an extra floor again. So I don't want that. Cool. So now this is looking roughly like that. So let's move on to our multifamily buildings. Again, any questions along the way, please ask me in the chat. Happy to answer whatever. It looks like what's going on here? This section needs to pull back, and this needs to. I must have forgot that floor. Okay, let's go like that and adjust that. There we go. Let's do. Huh, okay. Well, let's move that a little bit. Oh, snap into something for me there. Okay, there we go. Cool. Okay, multifamily. So let's go back to our top view. We've got a huge podium on this one. Yeah, it goes all the way, and that's what your pool stuff comes in with. So Um, I will start with that. So let's see, what's the general shape? So got kind of a boulevard and then this thing here. So same deal. Let's kind of rough it in and then tweak it afterwards. So yeah, I want these to be parallel, so that's good. And then I didn't even see how it goes. Okay, it has an angle and an angle. Okay, cool. So it's uh it's some angle, which looks like it kind of follows this existing thing here. And then an angle back, and then it goes up, right? Goes up. Yeah, up and across. Okay. So it goes up. So we meet up with that and across. Does that look generally correct? Yeah, it looks generally correct. Okay, cool. So same thing. We'll push this up, turn it into a building, and let's see how that goes. Oh, wrong way. So it just really steps up and then has this cutout in the middle. So let's go ahead. It's just one floor. It looks like of podium. So it already cuts out right away. So let's come in here, create a new floor plan. Let's just do this all in 3D. So I probably don't need top view anymore. It does not step back on that one. Whoops, let's undo that. But it does step back. Oh, this one just has a cutout. Okay, so we'll do the cutout on this floor then. Let's get rid of our extra floors for now. That was too soon to close my top view. So bumps like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll tune it to whatever it needs to be. That's roughly what we want. Take out that section and then make it look a little more like it should. So this actually should be more over like this. And the building is not long enough to begin with. So let's fix that. Let's make the building wider. And I need a little bit more offset here, it looks like. So that's good. And getting closer. How wide is this? Okay, that should be skinnier. So let's make that a little bit skinnier. Line those up. And this should be a little wider. Okay, good. So this should come over. And then how big is that opening? Oh, it's a pretty big opening. Okay. So this probably is something more like this. That looks pretty good, hey? Oh, this looks a little deep. Okay. So I think what I did, oh, that's why this is supposed to line up across here. Whoops. Okay, let's do that. Let's bring these way up and bring this way up. And let's actually do it more accurately. So let's line this up here and then line this one up with same thing. And then, oh yeah, and then we made this wider. So let's bring this and match that up. And then this one, we want to match that up. Cool. Okay, now that's looking better. Much better. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Does this step back on the backside? I think it does actually, right? Yeah, it has like this kind of notch in it. Let's see if we can get a view on the back. There's no view on the back. Okay. But it looks like it has this kind of notch thing going on. So let's do that. Let's come in here and let's do this floor plan. And well, actually, first of all, let's match up the sides and then we'll cut the notch out. So come in here and then that notch is the same width as the courtyard, which makes sense. Like that. And then we'll cut our notch out. I think I didn't actually split it. Okay, let me do that again. There. Okay, we might have to do this in, oh no, there we go. Okay, cool. There we go. So let's connect that up. Good. Now we've got something looking pretty decent, and bring this up a bunch of floors. Let's assign them all that same one to start from. And now we can add in our step backs. So 2 floors and a step back, 2 floors and a step back. Okay. So 2 floors, and then this floor plan is going to be a new one. And we are going to step it back and assign this the same. And then does 2 floors and another step back. So we need another floor plan. This is going to step back even further. We'll have a couple of those. Now that's looking better and better. And it actually steps back in this way too. That's interesting. So we'll want on this floor, we'll actually want this to come in. And then the same thing on this. So we can snap those together. Cool. It looks great. And we already did our corner. Oh, we did part of our corner notch. So it looks like on the top 2 floors, there's an extra notch on the corners here, and there's extra stuff here. So on these top 2 floors, you can go ahead and add that extra notch. Line that all up nicely. There we go. And this way, take out our notch. Same thing on the other side. So we want those lined up, and we want this lined up here. Oops, I think that was not what we wanted. Let's fix that. Oh, no, that's good. Okay, good. Take out that. And this is all multifamily, so we can call it residential. This floor is all residential as well. And so are these other floors. And residential is like, yeah, salmon color. Okay, so we can make it more of a salmon color. Oh, wrong way. Over here. Huh. Let's change it a little more red. That's close-ish. Sure, that seems good. And what else do we got to do? There's some extra notching here. So again, just the top 2 floors. We'll take out the corner. We'll step that back a little bit. So this one, I think just stepped in a little bit, right? Is that correct? Like that. Yep. And it notched on the corner. Yeah, we'll match our other notch across the way. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. That's looking great. So I'm really happy with that. That's good. So now we'll do the other building, and then we can start adding in our terraces and trees and boulevards and all that kind of stuff. So by the way, before I get into that, interesting thing here. So we are getting some units calculated from this. These are based on what we just out of the box Arcol defaults, but you can change any of this stuff. So I've got all the unit types that I want as part of my mix. I've got what the mix is, and then I've got a size per unit and a parking requirement per unit. So that is saying that based on this, we only need 296 stalls. We've got a lot more parking than that. But I believe we also aren't currently accounting for parking requirements for our office. So let's do that. Let's say we need for every 1,000 square foot of office. Yeah, now we need a lot more stalls and retail, same thing. So let's say for every 1,000 square feet of retail. There you go. So now it's calculating way more required stalls, and it'll do it all automatically for me as I go. So let's go back to top view and create our other building. And I think it's just kind of the inverse, right? Sort of. It's got something different here. So let's go. Why am I not? There we go. So, okay. So this with a little cut and then a notch. Oh, and whatever this thing is going on here. Okay. So this time I'll make sure everything's all nice and lined up. So we'll start there. We'll go there. There we go. And then goes on an angle, same angle. Yeah, so we can make that angle parallel. That's nice to have. Um, and let's do that. And then had a little kind of notch thing and came over. And then I think I forgot actually an extra notch. This little detail here looks like it bumps out. So I've got that, I got that. Just have to add that extra piece. And oh, okay. This actually extends. Oh, right. This one goes beyond. So I think I actually need to tweak this building a little bit to allow more space for that road, maybe. Maybe it's okay. But this building actually goes further. So let's do that first. Whoops. Let's bring that out and then do the extra bump out. Here. Again, I'm just gonna do it loose because I can tweak it all afterwards. And I don't want that line on the side of my building, so I'm just gonna redraw this line here. Cool. And then when I bring it up, I think this, yeah, this piece was wider. Yeah, much wider. So we'll bring that over um, like that. Oops, wanted to grab the edge. Let's grab the edge. Come on. And get right in there. There we go. There's the edge. There. Okay. So I got my base layer. Let's turn that into a building. We've got just I think the one floor again of podium. Yeah, just one floor, and then it starts stepping up and doing interesting stuff. So let's go in here. Let's just remove this one for now and make this a separate floor. I guess first of all, so we know what we're doing on the side here, we should rename our floors again. So let's go building 3. Oops. Building 3, and these should all be building 3. Cool, that's good. And now this one, we need a new floor plan. So let's go ahead and do that. And then what does it all do here? So let's go to top view. So it cuts, okay, it's like an I shape. So first thing is, well, why don't we do this actually in the floor plan view this time? That might be easier. So it cuts in here and that comes out and then yeah, okay. So how does that extra bump out? Okay, gotcha. Cool. So then this somewhere over here, yeah, sure, midpoint's fine. This comes over and does a little I-shaped thing as well. And it goes all the way across, I believe, right? Yeah, all the way across. Okay. So this comes all the way over here. And oh, I think I didn't quite get it. What's going on there? We can redraw the line if we have to. Okay, that's fine. We'll just redraw that and get rid of the segment here. And now we've got, oh, this line is confused here. Let's fix it. There we go. Now we've got something loosely representing. Let's look, how does it look? This I think should be longer and probably shorter. So this looks okay. This probably should be a little bit longer, maybe something like this. And the rest actually looks pretty good. I think that's pretty decent. These angles, I think this line is, yeah, the angle should be a little shorter. I think this should be more like this. So we'll fix that on the other floor plan too. Let's do that. Bump that over there and be a little more accurate about it. I should have, I guess I could do this in the floor plan view. You won't have my bad habits from using Arcol every day. Question, is there a way you could use the reference image to basically trace over? Oh, that's true. Actually, I could have done that. I don't know why I didn't do that. I could have here, well, I can show you what that would look like. Um, that probably would have been a lot faster, wouldn't it? Let's save this if it'll let me. I don't know if it's gonna let me. Oh, I might have to take a screenshot of this. Okay. Well, let's take a screenshot and try it that way. So, yes, I could have done that. I could have gone here, screenshot, and let's bring it in to the scene. And then sometimes it puts it in interesting places. Let's see, where did it come? There we go. Okay. I'm not sure what happened the first time. So yeah, I could have done that, and then I would have to, scale this to whatever scale it needs to be, bring it to wherever I want to bring it. So this should probably be a lot bigger. And then yeah, I could totally do that and adjust the height to wherever I want it to be to trace it, or set these things to be kind of semi-transparent so I can see through them while I'm tracing. Yes, good call out. I could have done that and saved my time. Actually, why don't we do that for doing this like boulevardy stuff? So let's see. We want this to be, I don't know the exact scale. Let's try 460 feet. Working off of a screen share or a screen capture. It's getting closer. Let's try a little bigger. Um, let's see. Am I way out still? Oh yeah, I need to get a lot bigger. Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience while I do this. Let's make that more what it should be. That's looking that's looking pretty close. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So my buildings, well, sorry, I think that's too big now, but I think what we'll find is that my approximates are not actually super close to what they should have been, but that's okay. Yeah, it looks like everything is a little bigger, but that's okay. We'll find some happy medium. Let's go back to the 500, and I think that was the closest. And then this trail connects across. Yeah. So that's actually, I think these are too big and then these are a little bit too small, but that's okay for this exercise. And we can use it, like I say, when we get to actually adding in paths and parks and stuff. Cool. So I mean, why don't we remedy this a little bit, I guess, right now? Because this one we know should actually be out here. And let's clean up that point. We don't want that. And this should all be kind of more like this. We can at least make this one pretty accurate there. And then we'll do the same thing here. Um, something, what's going on there? Let's just start from scratch. Let's drag this to here. And then Oh yeah, I got nothing to snap to right now because I can drag that over. So let's bring that over and then connect it up and it should be good. Cool. And then tweak this a little bit. Okay, nice. Okay, so that's more accurate at least, so that's good. We got our little cutouts, and I think now it does the same thing. It just starts stepping back. So let's make this floor plan two, and it looks like same deal. So 2 floors, it steps back, and then 2 floors, it steps back, etc. So 2 floors of this, and then it steps back. We'll want another floor plan. And we know that it steps back, I think both directions, right? Steps back here and here, just a little bit there. Okay. So this steps back just a touch. And this is the same. And I think this needs to be quite a bit bigger. Yeah, it does. So we'll just keep making that bigger. Notice, by the way, our push-pull works differently than SketchUp. I like it. Obviously, I'm biased, but I like it a lot more. It doesn't pull out weird boxes and stuff. It kind of does what you would expect it to do. So that's nice. And same thing, we'll add a couple more floors, create a new floor plan, and step that one back as well. And let's assign this the same. And that one steps back a little more aggressively that time. Something like, yeah, 10 feet. And cool, we're almost there for our basic building stuff, which is great. Cool, so sculpting away. Let's drop this image down a little bit. I don't want it so much in my face. Awesome. Okay. So we got the bare bones in there. Oh, I guess there's a couple more notches. I won't worry about them right now because we're already at 50 minutes. So I'll go ahead and make this building residential. Now, what I could do and what I can start to do is just because this is kind of locked in now as my sizes of everything, I can start styling on this. So if I want to add, say, some terraces here, I don't know why that's up there. First of all, I'll set my view to what I want it to be. So kind of move my camera around wherever I want it. And when it's all happy, this is like a local change right now. So if I want this to be where everybody, when they come into the project, they see the same thing for their view, I need to just update these view defaults. And now that's happy. And again, I can come in here and start adding in some terraces. So let's go like that and just snap my way around. And if I really want to get fancy, I can't remember if I did that on the original project. I don't think I did. So I could even come in here. I've been assigning everything as a building function, which is like a high level thing. I can get in more detailed and assign an area type. So if I want to know exactly the square footage of terrace that I have in my project, I could come in here, create a new one called terrace. I don't care about counting the number of terraces. I could do that too, but I will make terrace say like a just kind of a gray. And now I can come in here and say, this is terrace. And that will let me know, okay, I've got this much terrace. And so if I were to go through the rest of this building and do that same action, so let's just do a couple more. I would do that. And I would do this one too. Now I'm going to have, again, accurate, oops, did something a little weird there. Let's see. There we go. Oh, and this one too. There. Now I can assign these both terrace, and I'm going to get, again, for my project, I can see how much terrace I have. I can have a conversation about if I applied it as a function, I could know, okay, well, what's the percentage of terrace relative to all this stuff? But because it's kind of a subset of residential, that's why I used area type. You saw there's the other defaults in here. I could actually, the same way that I was splitting up these floors into parking and retail, I could, if I wanted to, go in granular and actually split it into corridors and core and units and assign everything as an area type to get more accurate unit counts. Okay, awesome. So we've got our buildings basically there. I would normally go through and add my terraces onto everything just for the visuals of it. Um, I guess next we can start adding in our plazas. And so I won't spend the time to actually create the pattern. You certainly could do that if you wanted to, but I'll just do some kind of blocks of greenery and plaza. So first of all, let's get. I don't actually think we. Yeah, the scale's weird, so I'm just gonna get rid of that image for this. Um, what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to trace my site. So let's go to top view. For later, let's kind of save that. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to trace my site. You can see I can snap to my site boundary, which is great. And let's default everything to being some nice shade of green as the default. So now I've got this layer that I can start splitting up into all the terrace stuff. And so I guess we can do this in split view. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm basically just going to start splitting it up into other areas. So we know based off of this that, yeah, this plaza kind of extends through here. And so, and does it start all the way here? Yeah, it does. Okay. So this goes all the way to the edges of the building. Okay, great. So this actually goes all the way across and kind of comes here. I guess this is all under the building, so I wouldn't necessarily have to do this, but this comes like this, and then it aligns, yeah, with that building, and it comes all the way through, right? Yeah, it comes all the way through to the property, and then same thing on the other side. This comes across, lines up here, and lines up there, and comes all the way here, and then all the way to the end. Um, like so. Cool. So now we've got, looks like something didn't quite connect, so that's fine. We can see what we missed here. It's probably this line up here. Let's see. Let's just extend past. Okay. Yeah. So it is that line. So this one, I would basically make it the green again. Let's use my color dropper. Oh, or not, because I'm hovering it. There we go. Oops. I hit enter when I shouldn't have hit enter. And this, now we can make it the, what it's generally like, I guess, a gray brown pattern. So let's just go with the brown. Like I said, I could go in here and go super detailed and really split it up into the pattern if I wanted to, but for the sake of time, I won't do that right now. And then there's also, we'll just roughen the road. So the road actually comes through here, right? So I would do the same thing and the road starts over there. Okay. So the road actually starts, I shouldn't have carried this all the way through, so we can fix that. This comes like this, and yeah, I won't go into all the detail of the entrances for now, but this generally kind of comes over here and matches up with that. Okay, cool. So let's go like that. Let's connect this up. Oops. And run this through. And we're going to need the other side of the road as well. So this, something like that. And then we go through and assign up, this is roads, so some kind of a dark gray. And this was our plaza, right? Okay, here, let's do our road first. did we lose anything? No, that's just under the terrain, I think. Oh, no, maybe it's not. This should actually be grass. Awesome. And then just our plaza we need to do. So plaza, we said we do kind of like a brownie beigey thing. And oh yeah, that is how it goes. Okay, great. So I went into more detail on the original project, which you can see here. Some of it's under the terrain right now. I'd have to kind of raise it up, but actually I can just do that to show you. So I did initially go in and add in the entrances and like I spent a lot more time on it just to show you what you can do. Um, but again, for this case, we won't worry about it. So, okay, remaining stuff to do for today. Let's go ahead and add in some trees, not all the trees because there's a whole lot of trees. Let's add in some trees, put it onto some documents, like some documentation stuff, and then call it a day from there. So I've got my buildings roughed in, getting all my data from that, my metrics, which is great. Got some unit counts. I got my terrace area. I've got my parking required and calculated, all that stuff. It's giving me carbon calculations if I want that. I could run costing on it if I want to do cost per square foot for each function and parking type. So I could do that all here. I could even actually, if I wanted to, yeah, I didn't do that, but I could have come in here and actually assigned this to be like softscape and this to be hardscape, which again would give me the benefit of up here knowing how much of my site is covered with hardscape. And I could assign a cost to it if I want to get some costing for landscaping and hardscaping and roads, all that stuff. So trees, super simple. I mean, it's as you can tell, it's a pretty generalizable modeling program. So I'm just going to make a tree. So let's do a trunk and let's say we want it to be um, a 1 foot radius, just a pretty small tree. Make it however big we want. And then let's do the canopy. Let's do, say, a 5 foot radius and make it however tall. And then we'll just stack them on top of each other. So I'm going to come in here, oops, open that split view and select my tree and bring it on top. I can't really see what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna make it slightly less opaque and put it on top. That's good. And then obviously the canopy should be green, so we'll do that. Cool. And uh, it's pretty tall, skinny tree, so we can let's do it. Let's bring it down a little bit and let's make this less tall. And then make the trunk brown. And let's group it. So select them both, group. Now they'll behave as one thing. And then I'll just use my move copy tool a whole bunch of times. So in the actual original project, there was, I think, this green belt thing on the side, which I didn't bother doing this time around. But let's say there's a whole bunch of trees in a row here. I'm in my move tool with my copy checkbox on, and I just move copy a whole bunch. I could do this all over the project. Um, let's add some onto our terrace here. So I think there's a swimming pool in the actual project. We can add that in a second. So that would be the process of adding in all your trees. I mean, whatever sizes you want. Um, and again, I haven't done it, but if you really wanted to get fancy, if you had a requirement of knowing how many trees you have, you could, well, let's do it just for fun. Let's go area type. This is a little bit hacky, but uh, it'll work. So let's make one called tree. Let's make it green. And if I wanted to, one of these faces in the tree, I should have done this before I copied them all, I guess, but I could say that's a tree. I think I can do that. Let's see. Maybe it won't let me do it. Oh, okay. Shoot, it won't let me do it. Let's see if I can. Okay, I could do it for a function, but I could have done that. I think I had to do it at the beginning, but then I could have had a count of how many trees I actually had in my project, if that's something that I wanted. We also said, yeah, let's just quickly add in this swimming pool. Like I said, I'm not going to add in kind of all the trees and spend as much time making them all perfect as I did on this one. But a pool, we could use our rectangle tool for that. And something like um, we can fine tune in a second here. So like a blue, and it's a little bit too big. So let's change the dimensions of it. And it's not lined up maybe the way I want it to. Is it lined up? Oh, it's yeah, completely wrong. It's 90 degrees wrong. So I'll go to my rotate tool up here and I can just rotate in the center and we want 90 degrees. And then I can just click and drag it wherever it should go. So now I got a swimming pool. That looks good. So I do that. I have a bunch of trees, add in all my fine details, and let's go ahead and do some documentation for this. So, oh, I guess one quick note I'll mention is I'll set up some more views. So we already have a view set up for 3D. We have our top view. Um, the views they have in this project, let's get out of here. So they have, I think, a few 3D views. Yeah, they've got like this view from the front looking through. So we can do that. We can do this view here. So let's create a new view and call that street level. And they have top view we've got, and this is our basic 3D view we have, but then they have this other angle 3D view. So let's do that too. So I think they have one kind of from over this direction as well. So let's call that 3D2. I can drag and reorder all of these if I want. So let's just put the 3D views together. And there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, I think it looked like when I originally was looking at this project, it looked like these are actually all orthographic views, not perspective. I can do that if I want to. So I'll just come over to my view here. I'll make an orthographic view. And now this is all orthographic for me. I don't actually think it looks as good as perspective, so I'm going to go back to perspective, but you can do ortho if you want to. I could also, I've got some shadows, but yeah, they're not very dramatic. So let's make our shadows a little more interesting. So let's add some shadow. Again, save that. Shadows are per view. So I could, if I want to show some other day of the year from a different perspective, I can do that. You'll see here, this bar will change as I go per view. So I also, not in this project, I won't do it, but I haven't gone into design options at all. Those are in other webinars we've done. So if you're interested in design options, if I wanted to do a whole other thing, I could basically just go like this and my site will be empty and I can start creating another design option. So that would be possible to do as well. Now, coming over to boards. So boards are where we do documentation. So I'm going to make a sheet set for this. I actually already have, do I have? I think I have a sheet set that I already made for this. So let's try it out. So I could pick a blank sheet and create sheet by sheet. You can also save everything as templates. And so I believe this is the template that I want. It's pretty close. Okay, so I previously made this as a template and published it out so that I could have it in every project. And so you can see now, rather than having to make all this stuff from scratch, I've got my title block, I've got everything, even in terms of my views and where they're placed. It couldn't match all the views. So like, say I want 3D view here, 3D view 2 here. Let's do that as well. And oh, this is my ground view. Okay, so I'll actually go street level. And then I've got my plan view, 3D1, 3D2. And I'm basically done. The last bit here is that, oh, that's funny. I made a template actually for this project. That's why the title is there. But I could call this whatever I want to. I did add in, this template has these metrics. These are live linked to the model. So these are actually pulling from a view. And I think it actually did hook up everything it was supposed to hook up. So I've got my site area. Oh, this one didn't hook up. So this one, what did we've got retail, residential. Oh, we don't have office area. So there's our office area now. And then building total area, that looks good. And then all of our unit counts, that looks great. And what else? Is there anything else we want to show? Oh, we did add in hardscaping, right? So I could just add another section and a line if I wanted to, however I want to lay this out. And I want to pull hardscape area. There we go. So there's my hardscape area. This is all live updating stuff. So if I was to come back here and add a bunch of floors on here, that's going to change all my metrics. Obviously, my views are going to change. When I come back, that's all updated. So 188 units. If I come here and take those floors back off, uh, oh, I think I'm pulling units from the wrong place. Oh, studios. Sorry. 188 studios. Now I have 110 studios. So this is all correct. I was just reading out the wrong number. So I probably do want that even as a metric on here, and I can add that as well. So let's go total units. We want total unit count. There we go. So 550 total units. Okay, question. Could you create a custom metric if you wanted to? It depends what you mean. So you can create custom categories within all the metrics, but if you wanted like what is my office gross area divided by two or something like that, today, no, you can't do that. In the nearest future, probably. That seems to be something that is helpful to people. If you have examples of what you would want to create, please put them in the chat. I'd love to know what they are. But no, you can't do custom formulas. You can, however, create and customize all of the categories and colors and styling for everything within these sections that are here. One thing I'll mention, which I didn't add in here, is that you can also do some charting. So I could add in here a chart for any of that data. So pick something a little more interesting, like so. And this could be a donut, a bar, or a pie chart. And I could add that into my project as well. Yeah. So, I mean, last thing to do at this point would be to start exporting and sharing it out with people. So I could either create a sheet set that I would share either digitally or as a PDF, or I could download the model as an STL file. Well, let's do that actually. Let me just show you that because it's pretty cool. Oh, I need to be on the view actually that I want the STL from. So say I want to add a bunch more detail in SketchUp. I could do that. Let me get that download. Let me open up my SketchUp. While that's opening, I'll mention you could also bring out the images or the model views as JPEGs to dump into wherever you want. You can dump out all the metrics as CSV if you want to do more stuff in Excel. And we have a Revit add-in that you can use to bring it all the geometry into Revit as a Revit Mass. Okay, a couple more questions. Can you add in the unit design and layout? Okay, yeah, I'll show you that in a second here. Or is this percentage share as a square footage of efficiency? So you can do both. I'll show you that in a second after the SketchUp thing here. And then, yeah, compliance metrics, 40% of area needs to be drought tolerant species. Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. I understand what you're asking for. That makes sense. It looks like we'll see if this autofill. If this doesn't all autofill, I won't make you sit through me logging into SketchUp. I didn't know that it had logged me out. Okay. Let's try. So Adam, yes, I will get to the unit layout in a second here. I just really want to show you the SketchUp export because it is very cool. Um, let me just reshare my whole screen. Yeah, there we go. So let me drag in my SketchUp. Oh, SketchUp, come on. Okay, I got my SketchUp. So I dumped out my model as an STL, and then it really is as easy as import. I don't know if I picked the right units for my base model. I guess we'll find out, but pick my STL file and voila. So you don't get the terrain today, but you do get all the context buildings, and then there's all your geometry, and it is all editable geometry. So I mean, I can come in here and I can do, oh, I think it groups it. Let me explode it. There, yes, okay, it explodes it. But yeah, it's all completely editable. You do whatever you want in SketchUp. So that's the SketchUp thing I wanted to show you. Um, right. Okay. So to answer Adam's question about unit design and layout, yeah, let's do it just kind of briefly here. So I've got my residential. It's the same process I was doing before for splitting up the parking and retail and stuff, but just at a more granular level. So let's say from this edge, there's a corridor. Well, I guess probably not through here, but um, I don't know exactly how this would lay out. So you've got a corridor and a corridor, um, and you want this to be kind of through here. Yeah, and I could again, I could do it kind of the SketchUp way. I didn't do it this way, but I could just to show you, I guess. I could say I want this corridor to be, exactly 5 feet. So I would just go here, 5 feet, click, and draw my line. You can do that. And I was just kind of doing it roughly, but I've got here now some areas. So let's split this, like, let's do some kind of large units just so you get the point here. But again, you split them up however you want. You add in your core, you do all that stuff. This is all residential as a building function, but you can get in and add it an area type for that. Like I say, that next level of detail for counting areas and units. So say there's a 3 bedroom. It looks like, what did I miss here? Something didn't split. That split. I missed a split somewhere. This one? Nope, that split. Let's try. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry. Just just going crazy. There we go. Okay. So you would just do that same thing, but come in here and say, that's a 3 bedroom, that's a 2 bedroom, that's a 1 bedroom, whatever you want. And it's going to calculate it all for you here. So this unit section, by default, it's the automatic counts based on the efficiency that I was showing you. But when you add in those area types, you can flip it over to actual unit counts. Okay, so if a 40 by 36 3 bedroom is standard, it wouldn't fit those units into area allotted, just counting the assigned areas. Like would it generatively add in the units? No, not today. Um, question for you, I guess, is we've been talking a lot about generative recently, and there's two ways to do it. There's a little bit of a tangent, but you can today in Arcol, you said 40 by 36. So you can today make a 40 by 36, oops, 90. You can make a 40 by 36 block. And you said it's a 3 bedroom. Yeah, generic numbers, that's fine. That's totally fine. 3 bedroom. So today you can take this and you can say, add it to my block library. I didn't do that at all in this project so far, but I have this block now that I can bring in for laying out and start kind of snapping together blocks. And then when those are all done, I can merge them all into a big floor plan that I can push and pull like this. the one approach to generative would be, the typical like basically I draw my corridor and I just want units spat out on either side of the corridor. What you were just asking about is kind of the other approach of like, I draw the shell of my building, now fill it with these blocks. Does it just depend on the project, or do you have a preference one way or the other? That would be my question to you. But yeah, let me go back and make sure I answered all your stuff here. So yeah, so you can create the blocks. It doesn't automatically fill the blocks in here, but if that's something useful to you, let us know. Um, Kind of what the most handy generative thing for you would be. Um, Fill a space would be more handy. Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. That's good to know. And I guess probably with some tolerances, right? Of like 40 by 36 is the base, but you can kind of add or take away a few feet in any direction to fill into the spaces as you need to. Starts with the outside, not really starting with the corridor. Okay, good, 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 good to know. Um, if you want to chat more about this, by the way, separately, one-on-one, I'd love to see some examples you've got and kind of really get into the details. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's do it. Cool. Okay. Any other questions before I start to wrap it up? I know it's been a long one, so thanks for sticking around. Um, I'll go say going once, going twice. Okay, going three times. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Adam, I'll reach out to you on LinkedIn and let's chat some more. And if you have other feedback, or Masha, if you got other feedback and you guys want to talk one-on-one, reach out to me on LinkedIn, or my email is mike@arcol.io. I'd love to chat with all of you and hear what you got to say. Okay, Adam, yeah, I'll email you. Sounds good. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. See ya.